I am Dr. Frank A. Thomas, and I have just finished an amazing interview with Dr. Martha Simmons. We covered a lot of territory, a lot of ground. We've done a lot of great work together, from They Like to Never Quit Praising God to the African American pulpit to the Preaching with Sacred Fire, and then the African American lectionary. Watch this trailer, and at the end, there's a link that you can watch the entire video. It will be a blessing to you. We had a great time, and so check it out and let your friends know so they can check us out. Your first sermon was?
My first sermon was, there's a war going on.
And where was it and when was it?
It was in San Francisco, California, at Third Baptist Church. And I was the first woman to preach there. Third Baptist is the oldest black church west of the Mississippi. I don't even remember, this is bad, but I don't even remember the year, Frank. It was that long ago. But that was the first sermon, and it got canceled twice because there was such an uproar. They put us out of the Baptist State Convention. And then the pastor, we had just paid, given a nice check for missions. There was a lady named Lottie Caldwell. Miss Caldwell always gave this big check once a year for missions. So the pastor said, okay, we'll get out, give us our check back. It probably haven't even cleared the bank yet. And so when he said give the check back, then their minds changed and they said, oh, okay, we're Baptists, we don't support you, but you go do what you want to do. Okay. So, but it had been canceled before that happened. And they sent in Caesar Clark to kind of calm things down, okay? One of my two favorite preachers of all time. And he helped me calm down after talking to me about it afterwards, because I was peeved. I had spent so much time working on this sermon with no help from anybody. Okay, the pastor didn't even have enough concern to say, let me look at it. Right. There was nobody I could call without offending him. Right. So, but, because they canceled it, it gave me more time to work on it and et cetera. And I started to read more sermons, and I'd say, okay, the people I heard in Chicago, they didn't sound like what I'm reading in this book. Let me see if I can merge some of this. Then they canceled it again. This time, they brought in E.V. Hill. Church packed, okay? This church will seat about 1,200 people. People were standing up on the walls, thinking I was going to preach because it was in the newspaper, right? E.V. Hill comes in and gives the most misogynistic sermon that could be given. And he helps my cause. People who didn't even believe in women preachers were so upset by his language that it helped me. It helped me. And so I ended up telling him as we went to the fellowship hall later, I told him, thank you for helping me. I know you didn't intend to, but you did. Okay. So, I finally get to the first sermon, and I had decided, because I had spent so much time hearing hooping in Chicago, and I loved it so much, I said, I know the pastor wasn't a hooper, but I'm going to hoop this sermon, et cetera. So finally get to the sermon, and et cetera, and I was astonished at how well it went. Everything that needed to be done, because I got that extra year, the cancellations ended up being done. People who didn't even believe in women preachers, everybody was up on their feet. Everybody, right? They had an old preacher, and he stood up and he said, I want to have a word. He said, when I did my ordination, they asked me, do you believe in women preachers? And I said, no, sir. Absolutely, no sir. He said, but after hearing this woman today, I'd have to give him a different answer. And so, of course, the house went up some more and et cetera. So, that was that first sermon.